Collectors and museum groups were welcomed to the VIP preview of Tefaf New York Fall. Kirsten Chilstr, the second edition of Tefaf New York Fall, devoted to pre-1920 fine and decorative arts, opened to VIPs at the Park Avenue Armory on Friday, the 27th of October. Within the first hour, dealers were lifting marble busts off plinths and hoisting gilt wood frames down from the walls for potential buyers to inspect. The CNN anchor Anderson Cooper, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and his wife Louise Linton, Ed Dolman, the chairman and chief executive of Phillips, and the collector Susan Hort, were seen strolling the plush-carpeted aisles. The inaugural 2016 fair was warmly received by the New York market, and such success meant more was at stake this year. But the fair was oversubscribed, something Patrick Van Maris, the chief executive of the Maastricht-based Tefaf, describes as a luxury problem. As such, he impressed upon the 93 exhibitors, it's very important to amaze the public. In contrast to last year, when dealers complained that construction continued into the opening, this year the logistical aspect was very smooth, he says. Willem Claes Heda, Still Life with Fruit Pie 1644 courtesy of French company, New York. Many dealers, encouraged by strong museum turnout in 2016, brought major pieces with price tags to match. Bernard Goldberg Fine Arts of New York devoted its period room upstairs to serene drawings and sculptures by the U.S. artist Ellie Nadelman, anchored by a stylized female bust in polished walnut with echoes of Brancusi, around $191,213, on offer for $1.4 million. Eric Codelum of Paris had a delicate pencil portrait by Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres of a fashionable woman, the artist's first patron, twisting around in her opera chair. $800,000. A companion portrait of her husband, the dealer noted, is held by the Art Institute of Chicago. Adrian Brent, St. Mary Magdalene reading, around 1530 courtesy of Richard Green, London. Other exhibitors hedged their bets with smaller scale paintings and works on paper that play well in intimate booths. Stand sizes here are smaller than the original Dutch fair in March. Maastricht regular Thomas Salas, of Salzburg, is re-entering the New York market after a lapse of 2 decades. His offerings included an ink painting by Otto Dix from the end of the First World War, Young Family, Lovers, capturing both the violence of war and a dream for his future. $95,000. It's not always about money, says Salas, sizing up his clientele. It's about content, history, inherent to Tefaf's charm, or the quirky oddities. Christophe de Quinataine, of Paris, returning for a second year, is offering an unusual turquoise-glazed porcelain cat set on a bronze tuffet, which had been made for Madame de Pompadour, at an asking price of €1.8 million. At Carlo Virgilio's stand, a memento mori diorama depicting a decomposing Capuchin friar by Giovanni Rosselli, bristled with wax maggots and actual insects, intended to spook churchgoers of centuries past. The Rechercheward Book of Hours, France, tours before 1504 courtesy of Drive Jorn Gunther. Rare Book SAG. There is also some shrewd positioning of good works by lesser-known names, a reflection, in part, of the chronic problem of supply in the old Masterfield. The London dealer Colnaghi has sold a large memento mori still life by the enigmatic Spanish painter Andres Delito to a U.S. institution for more than $1 million, according to Jorge Call, the gallery's chief executive. An oil-on-copper still life of fruit by Bartolomeo Cavarossi, who helped introduce the Caravagesque style to 17th-century Spain, is also on hold for a private collector. We do a lot of pre-working the fairs, Call says, referring to the practice of priming potential sales beforehand, and adds that lately buyers seem to be responding to the drama of Baroque works. John Atkinson Grimshaw, Prince's Dock, Hull 1882 courtesy of McConnell Masson Gallery, London. The gallery's recent hire, Carlos P. Cohn, formerly of the Metropolitan Museum's Greek and Roman Art Department, says he finds it refreshing to be able to bring surprising objects, such as a 1st-2nd century AD bronze perfume jar depicting 2 male wrestlers locked in a complex embrace, to the public on a much faster time frame than that of a museum. What I find so thrilling is to have direct access to the future trustees. There are people who are 30 years old who want the guidance. They're the fricks of the future, he says. Tefaf New York Fall, Park Avenue Armory, New York, the 28th of October, the 1st of November.